This is All About Home Construction, and here's your hosts, Terry Cannell-Beck and Randy Blake.
That's right. Good morning, and good morning, Randy. Are you there? Good morning, Randy. Well, this is what happens when Randy decides to work at the Rock and Roll Kitchen. So, good morning, though. Thanks for listening to us All About Home Construction here on WATA. And, it's a beautiful day. And I think part of the problem is now I can say, good morning, Randy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
I guess it would help if I hit the right buttons. You could join me. So, thanks for joining me. Anyway, how are you, buddy?
Can you hear me all right?
I can now. I can hear you just fine when I hit the right buttons and turn you on. So anyway, you're at the Rock and Roll Kitchen on a beautiful Saturday morning. So how's it going over there?
We just opened the doors, 6 minutes ago.
Nice.
Got the pancake eaters in here. We have pancakes for children. So
Sweet. So I was looking at the pictures you put down in on the Facebook page, and I'm a little hungry. Not gonna lie. It's
well, I thought you come today because you got to park cars early.
I know, and it's a Hap State game. Should be a big hit, but I don't know, man. Those biscuits you got kind of look pretty sweet. It's awful tempting.
You know what? Those are a big biscuit too.
They are. Oh wow. Well, cool.
I'm old Pillsbury Doughboy.
Perfect. But no, thanks for all of our listeners out there, for real. We do appreciate all of you. And Randy, of course, is at the VFW at the Rock and Roll Kitchen for the monthly breakfast there at the VFW. So get on over there till 11 o'clock, right?
Yep. I want to thank everybody that came out for steak dinner. That was our biggest steak night in history.
Awesome.
13 years. So that, it really helped us out. We hope everybody enjoyed it. And so, we try to do the best we can do with what we got. So,
sweet.
But Hidden Happiness Bee Farm, Deep Cap, y'all know Wormy, HS Green, Dream Home Molded and stuff, is they're doing a benefit for the High Country caregivers. Live music, food, and auction. November 16th from 4 to 7 at Hidden Happiness Bee Farm. Now, there's a gold-plated Henry 22 long rifle.
I'm looking at this.
You looking at it?
Yeah, 22 Henry. It looks pretty. And
$5 ticket. The barbecue is $10. The VFW will be cooking the food for this.
Sweet.
Or, excuse me, we will be cooking the pork, the barbecue pork.
Nice. Well, it looks pretty sweet.
Think about all these folks that's been out here helping, and I know we're going to have we're going to have not a breakfast, free breakfast, but we're going to have a free afternoon on a Saturday meal where we had a bunch of food donated out of Ohio that we need to give away to people.
Sweet.
And
that's cool.
I want everybody to keep in mind also that we have supplies here in the basement of the VFW. If y'all need something, we have winter clothing, men's, women's, charcoal, water. I know everybody in the county's got water, but I know there's people out there still having a hard time. And
well, that's actually something that once we get talking about all about home construction, I was going to ask you. Is there's still some people that I can hear from and stuff that their water got contaminated during the last couple weeks, month, 5 weeks ago, whatever. And so there's still people who are, even when their wells are working, for toilets and stuff, they're not able to drink it quite yet. Some people are doing.
Here, I got my list up. So we have tents, sleeping bags, blankets, charcoal, baby formula, and food, diapers. We have a variety of medical supplies, but nothing heavy. Chainsaw chains, T-cycle oil, toiletries, feminine care products. Now, we have a lot of MRE food pouches down there. So, if you're afraid of your water being contaminated, you can come get a case of MREs and a case of water. Then that way when you cook your meal, because you know it's a meal ready to eat, follow the instructions, it heats it up and everything. So
Nice. That's so cool. So, well, awesome.
and that's during business hours. So
Good to know. Good to know. So, well, cool. Well, cool. Well, yeah, lots of cool things happening there at the VFW. So, definitely, definitely excited about the things that are going on. And yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So again, some more dinners and meals on the way. Of course, right now, again, you can get breakfast. That's easy to say.
oh, you know, that's right. But I forgot a big one. You know, Dave Faulkner does Thanksgiving dinner here.
And guess what? It is November. We're only a few weeks away, it seems like.
Yep, and there is no charge for that. We do like for people to donate money.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? If they don't have it, they need a meal to eat, hot meal.
Mm-hmm.
Come on and join us.
Sweet. That's good stuff.
And
good stuff. So
last year was the biggest one Dave ever had.
yep, I remember you saying that now. So that's yeah, that's really cool. So well, cool. Well, all right. Well, let's but before we get into our first break here, I do want to ask you that about shocking a well. That was one of our listener questions, and what's your thoughts on that? Because I've read about it, how to do it, but is that something that a homeowner should do, or is it something that we should leave for a professional?
No, actually, they can do it. You know, bleach used to be the form of how to fix them because, you know, back years ago when they used to have to dynamite a well, you know, because they didn't get much water.
Yep.
Then, you know, the dynamite residue was down there. Mm-hmm. But they'd add about 4 to 5 gallons of bleach, so it took about 2 to 3 days to run it out of your system, you know, to sterilize the water. But I do have a plumber that's supposed to be finding out what that chemical is so you can put it in your well yourself. He says just like a tablespoon to a couple of gallons of water, and you have to really mix it up real thorough.
Mm-hmm.
But see, unlike bleach, the chlorine that you would use in it or the product you would use in it after, you know, a couple hours would evaporate out the smell. So you wouldn't have the long-term smell like you do with regular bleach.
Right. Well, my understanding, Randy, is when you bleach or when you shock it with like laundry detergent or laundry bleach rather, that you really have to know what the well is, the size of the well, the diameter and stuff, because there's a certain formula that you want based on the size of the well. In other words, you're not just going to pour a whole gallon down there and call it.
No, because I remember when we was a kid, we had a 700-gallon water reservoir, and Dad would put a cup of bleach a week in 700 gallons.
Right.
So it's not a lot, you know, and that's the last thing you want to do is just burn the insides up with a bleach intake. So
right.
But the plumber's supposed to be finding that for me, what it is.
Okay.
And so I'll get back with you, and we'll post it on our Facebook.
That's cool. Well, for those that do the regular bleach too, you want it to sit in the pipes for a while, like 6 or 12 hours, right? You're not, in other words, you don't just bleach it and then run the water out until it's clean. You really want it to like set up in the house and in the pipes as well to make sure that there's no bacteria that's in that complete water system, the line wise.
Well, it's definitely got to sit for a while, and but then, like I say, if you use regular bleach, you've got to run your water till the smell is gone, because you definitely don't want to eat it.
Right.
I mean, eat it. Hell, I'm trying to multitask here.
I know what you mean. No, you don't want to ingest bleach for sure. And then, of course, I guess, and on that note, right, is you want to get it tested, 3, 4, 5 days later before you start to drink it or consume it. You really want to go back and do a second test just to make sure that's out and there's no more bacteria, of course. So
yeah, and that's what I'm hearing is a lot of homes that's got damage to them has septic tanks run over, because the septic tanks definitely got blowed out.
Right.
I've seen some pictures of them where they washed out all the way around them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and that's where the like for instance, the E. coli, for instance, is I've heard some wells in the high country testing positive for E. coli, and things like that, and springs too. Now this isn't just wells. Spring is the spring sources. Honestly, I would be more worried about springs giving the floods that we had than I would the wells, because there's no matter how I guess protected your spring was, you're going to get some extra water in it when we have a flood like this.
Correct. And most of the contaminants that you can find in the spring come from the leaves and stuff in the ground itself.
Right. So, can you shock? Can you do that same shock system to a spring?
Yeah, I would think so, but it depends on your size of your reservoir to the amount that you put in it.
I was going to say, you're really shocking the reservoir rather than the actual spring. I mean, it's just fresh water coming in, hopefully. So I don't know. I don't know enough about springs, like shock your cleaning spring systems, and also I think springs are different from house to house, especially the older they are.
I know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there he is.
They have a stuff. Sorry, I had somebody text
me. Oh, you're good. You're good.
They have a sanitized wells, pumps, and storage tanks. It's called Well Safe, well sanitizer packet, and it's about $25.
Okay, gotcha. Well, cool.
And so I don't know what it details. I'm trying to find it.
Nice. Well, that's good stuff. So, we'll tell you what. Let's take our first break, Randy, and then I want to get in on our topic today. Can't wait for that. So, sound good to you?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for listening to us all about home construction here on WATA, and of course the podcast all about home construction. Are you looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment you need to get the job done? Look no further than Blue Ridge Sawmills. We offer the full line of Hudson sawmills and sawmilling equipment, from portable sawmills to skidding winches. At Blue Ridge Sawmills, we understand that every project is different, which is why we offer a wide range of sawmilling services. We can help you from everything from finding the right mill for your farm, hobby, or even your business. We also offer a variety of sawmilling supplies such as blades and debarkers, so you can get everything you need in one place. If you're looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment and the service you need, then come to Blue Ridge Sawmills. We're here to help you get the job done. Call or visit our Cana, Virginia store at 276-755-3833 or our Asheboro, North Carolina location at 336-964-8304. That's right, all about home construction here on WATA. And again, Randy Blake at the Rock and Roll Kitchen at the VFW. What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I'm sitting here.
All right. So, hey, before we get too far into it, I want to ask you about that bleach one more time, and then we'll get into our topic. But also, I wanted to remind people that Watauga County, the Coat Festival is going on at the high school. Just started up. So if you have school-age children in need of a warm coat, come by the high school today, and they've got plenty of coats. It's actually a really cool sight to see. Started up at 8 o'clock, so from 8 to 9 o'clock is pre-K through 4th grade, 9:30 to 10:30 is 5th grade through 8th grade, and 11 through 12 is 9th and 12th graders. But you know how they are, so I would just head on over there. If you're waking up and you're not going to make it in time for 9 o'clock, I got a good feeling that you could still get over there. So they'll be there till noon. So definitely cool. Tons and tons of donors and volunteers that made it possible, especially here on the mountain. So good stuff. So go over to the high school, and then of course go over to the Rock and Roll Kitchen on your way and get a good breakfast. Right?
Yep. Come on over. I was reading here the instructions to shock a well, okay? And it says to make sure you use an unscented household chlorine bleach.
Right.
Okay? Now, it's not regular clothes bleach. It's a pure chlorine, okay? And concentration of 5 to 5.2%. And pour it down your well, which you have to figure out how much water you have, in your pot, because you can't calculate how much is in the ground. And but you have to wait 6 to 12 hours for the chlorine to work. And then you have to flush your chlorinated water from your well and pipes. All right? Then retest the water after 2 to 3 days. Which that's about what we went through that time.
Yeah.
And but it's not hard to do, and you might have to do it. I'm glad I didn't have to do it.
Right. Good stuff.
The older wells probably need to have it done regardless, because they didn't put the pipe all the way down to solid rock and concrete it in.
Exactly. So, well, good stuff. So, yeah, that's just the key is to do what you can to make things safe. So it's good stuff.
That's it.
So, all right. Well, should we get into the list for this morning, Randy?
Yeah, we can.
That's it. Well, so many times on this show we talk about the new products. We like to know what's cutting edge and what's changing in the industry, right? And got a list here of just things that have really changed innovation wise that's helped change and hopefully positively and change the construction industry. So let's jump right into it. And mechanization, man, what do you think about that one?
Well, think about all the railroads that was built with pick and shovel and rock hammers before mechanization came around.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the reason the average lifespan back then was only about 38 years old.
Right.
Golly, think about the town of Boone years ago when they put all the water and sewer lines in by hand because they didn't have a backhoe.
Right.
Took quite a few people to do the digging.
Exactly. And we went from these early turn of the 20th century hydraulical systems. That think of the big steam. What am I looking for? Steam shovels. And, how things have come since then. I mean, now we have a crane, or we have, even concrete mixers, right? Like we can bring a mixer to a job site now and do it right there. But, this is more than just the construction industry. I mean, you look at the agriculture industry, like we got cherry pickers and apples and things like that now. But keeping it to the construction side is all of the no more plowing a field with an animal, right? No more using an ox to lift up large walls and things. Now you're able to use tractors and forklifts and again, more industry specific, like loaders and bulldozers and anything that digs, right?
The internal combustion engine progressed us faster than anything else in the time period.
Exactly.
I mean, the steam was great, to run major, like in the miners, running big air pumps.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen an air pump in a mine out west that the flywheel was nearly 33 feet wide.
Nice.
Made out of cast iron, and it just blows my mind that they were able to engineer that.
Yeah.
For it, then turn it and make it balanced so they could use it in a pump. And but yeah, just the internal combustion engine. Think about what diesel has done.
Yeah.
For everybody out there.
Yeah. No, I would totally agree with that. So that's cool. Okay. Well, this next one is something that we've dedicated a show or two on in the past, but that is prefabrication. I can't talk. In construction, as far as like the industrial side of construction, right?
Oh yeah. Now that helps out a bunch, because if you're used to framing, stud at a time, now there's companies out there that will build your walls. Now they'll even go as far as put the plywood on them. Right. And all you got to do is stack them in place and nail them in and be done with it. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Now there is a trade-off.
Sure.
Because you do have to pay to have the walls and the plywood put on. Unlike when you frame in a regular house and then you install it.
Right. Well, but they have the added benefit of a controlled environment and climate to be producing these, right? You know, like for instance, the modular homes. They can build these modular homes in this large warehouse and in pieces, bring it to your site and set it up, and they're able to get it done fairly fast compared because they're in an ideal setup. They've got one guy who is cutting every single board this length. They've got all the materials 5 feet away. They don't have to lug it up, across some foundation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I built 2 steel houses, and that's how I got them was prefab.
Mm-hmm.
Built sections, and that made the house a lot nicer.
Right.
And even though it was still built in a factory in a controlled environment, steel don't work much like wood does. Yep. When steel comes out of a machine, it's straight as an arrow. When wood hits the sun, it twists. You know that.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's it. You're able to control that. So you got better management of the, not just the materials though, but the components as well. Like basically everything that goes into building the house. And again, increased in efficiency and production. Right.
Yes.
And so,
like I said, there's a trade-off on that.
Yeah.
You give labor for materials. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
Sure.
Sometimes when you pay more for the materials, the labor's a little less.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, it's good to know. Good to know. So, I don't know. I think prefab is certainly here to stay. I like it. I know if I was building a new house, I would certainly consider some kind of prefab modular house. So it's cool stuff.
Well, a lot of your modulars now, a lot of materials that you buy from modulars don't really come from the United States. They come from overseas.
Just cheaper, more cost-effective products, I guess, right?
Yeah, correct. Because there's a big demand for our lumber. Mm-hmm. Well, Canadian lumber, U.S. lumber.
Sure.
So when we're going full bore, we got to draw from all over the world for our materials.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's look down to the list here before we take the next break. And the next one on the list here is when we think back in the history. Right, we have to have architects, we have draftsmen, stonemasons, builders, whatever. Right, everyone had their own specialty, but you had to go into that. And now, how do you talk and communicate with each of those people when you're designing a house, right? And every one of the trades has their own set of rules or what practices that they have to follow. Well, that's a lot of work to do when you're designing and planning, but now they have these computer-aided designs, these CAD systems that kind of takes all of that knowledge from each person, each trade, and throws it all together so you can design and build your own, right?
Well, it really helps with a good set of drawings on any house.
Yeah.
And, to bring it one step further, when people are designing these homes, I've seen architects, they draw in the finishes and everything on the house. Mm-hmm. And that really helps when it comes to estimating. If you just say, well, I want you to build me a house, well, we can't build it out of thin air without seeing what it is.
Right.
We can't even give a true estimate if we don't know if you're going to put carpet or hardwoods in.
Exactly.
Okay. Or you're going to put look at your bathrooms, because you can go to some of these high-dollar showers, $15,000 versus $800 fiberglass shower tubs. So all that's got to be taken into consideration. Even that needs to be done in the design section.
Exactly.
Not for the contractor to sit there and scratch his head and try to read your mind.
Sure. Well, there you go. That's what the CAD systems are for. That certainly, I think, is one of, if not one, one of the most important innovations we've had So cool stuff.
And, realistically, it's nearly impossible for us to give an estimate if we don't have a full view of the whole picture,
Right. Exactly. All right, let's take another break, and we'll come right back right after this. Thanks for listening to us. Don't forget, get over to the VFW. He'll be there till 11 o'clock at the Rock and Roll Kitchen. So head on over. We'll see you in just a minute. Are you looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment you need to get the job done? Look no further than Blue Ridge Sawmills. We offer the full line of Hudson sawmills and sawmilling equipment, from portable sawmills to skidding winches. At Blue Ridge Sawmills, we understand that every project is different, which is why we offer a wide range of sawmilling services. We can help you from everything from finding the right mill for your farm, hobby, or even your business. We also offer a variety of sawmilling supplies, such as blades and debarkers, so you can get everything you need in one place. If you're looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment and the service you need, then come to Blue Ridge Sawmills. We're here to help you get the job done. Call or visit our Cana, Virginia store at 276-755-3833 or our Asheboro, North Carolina location at 336-964-8304. That's right. All about home construction here on WATA. Good morning. Thanks for listening to us and Randy at the Rock and Roll Kitchen at the VFW. Good stuff. Hey, what's the popular item this morning, Randy? There he is. What's the most popular item this morning, Randy? How are you, buddy? And Randy, now what about now? You know what? It would help if I hit the right buttons, buddy. I'm really sorry, man.
Hey, you just don't like me no more.
I don't know what my deal is this morning. I keep the buttons.
Hey, can I bring up one more thing about CAD systems?
Yes, do please.
All right. Now, a lot of plans I've been reviewing lately, or in the last couple of years, where people are drawing these designs, a lot of times they don't know the size of the furnace, or because they're putting in a room for the furnace, your well and stuff like that. A lot of them are way too small. Okay, and another thing that we don't see a lot of that people have to go back and look at is they don't draw anything for a hot water heater. Okay, so that's got to go in that room, and you need to have enough room in that room so you can work on this equipment. Okay, and sometimes it gets a little tight. About like a good friend of mine that's in appliance, and he said with all the printer circuit boards that they have in these components today, that they need to have extra room, especially stackable washers and dryers.
Right.
And he suggests a foot on each side of your stackables, just so they'll work. So
that's cool. Well, good.
All right. There you go. Next question.
Building information modeling, BIM. Basically 3D renderings, right?
Yep. You generally don't get that in residential like you do in commercial, because in commercial they're required to draw in all their conduit, the water lines, sprinkler systems, stuff like that. Every location in a commercial building is drawn out, so you have it on a set of plans. Like, I got to look at the new high school plans that was
right.
built. You're teaching at in Watauga County, and there's like 105 pages in that set of plans, and each department had their own set of plans. It takes out certain things out of one plan to put in another one, like for the HVAC, electrical, aesthetics, arches, walls, rails. Everything is designed. A lot of times, that's what I was getting into on the CAD system.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff, like the heaters, furnaces and stuff, is not drawn into the system. So a lot of times it's up to us to try to figure out where our cold air return is, where our lines are running, and we don't need to be calculating that out. That needs to be made big enough so these lines can be run.
Right. Well, that to me is the cool thing, and that's what like we've all watched those TV shows or movies, where they've got these 3D models of the house and stuff, or the building. But yeah, like it's totally, and to me that is becoming easier and easier because of 3D printers now. Like we can load a plan into CAD systems and then 3D print the model right there.
Yes, you can. And there's actually CAD systems out there that will print out a drawing of every piece that you can use in this house to the length and the pitch and everything. Soft planners came out in the early 2000s that would do that for you.
So kind of like when I was a kid playing with Legos and following the instructions, put this piece here and this piece there. It's the same thing.
Yep.
There you go.
See that helps out a bunch, but a lot of those programs, there's a lot to learn in them.
Sure.
And a lot of them, you can't buy anymore. You got to rent them. So there's
they want that. They want that monthly fee, basically.
Yep.
That makes
yes,
sense.
They do.
All right, let's move on to the list here. This one, I think, doesn't get the credit that it deserves because it's a given that we use it and have it in everyday life, and that it's a mobile device. When think about, I mean, I know we worked without them in years, hundreds of years, really. But now that we have them, think of how much easier it is to use a cell phone, some kind of mobile device, right? I can call you up, Randy. Hey, I'm running late, or hey, Randy, I am at the building supply. They don't have this; they have this instead. That alone saves you how much time and money.
Correct. And you know what? People don't understand how long it takes to go to a building supply.
Yeah.
And it's always been like it.
Right.
I got one that we go to that we have a special name for that, golly, you need a $5 part and it costs you $7 in labor to wait in line so you can pay for that part.
Right. Yeah. But the smartphones and tablets too, but in particular smartphones, right? Not only for communication, now you can write reports on it. If you have employees, you can keep up with their hours on that. You can document, all good smartphones will have a decent camera. You can document the process. You can document when things go wrong. I mean, there's every single component could be used or utilized throughout, this mobile device.
Oh, we take pictures of everything we do.
Right.
And they spend a time or two in our life that we put deer cameras on our projects too.
Right.
And that is for my protection.
Sure.
Or for yours.
Yeah.
Because I had a situation, a friend of mine that got accused of stealing, and homeowner didn't want to pay. Well, come to find out, they were sneaking in. The homeowners were sneaking in there after the job. Everybody was gone in the afternoons and taking stuff out themselves.
That's crazy.
And so they were stealing their own product, keep from paying the bill.
Right. Wow.
I had that happen on one of my jobs too, where I got accused of stealing, and come to find out the homeowner had come in and took her own stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. That's trying to cheat the system. It's crazy. Oh wow.
No, they're trying to draw insurance.
Well,
that's what they're trying to do.
That's what I mean. Yep. So.
But I nipped that in the bud the minute she said this got stolen. I called 911. I had the sheriff's department there. I ain't gonna tolerate no stealing.
Exactly. Yep. So, well, good. Well, that's the thing. I mean, again, mobile devices. I would say that you have, over the last 2 years, you probably have way more hours holding the device in your hand, using it for work, than you have a hammer or tape measure.
Oh, that's guaranteed. So even though we're supposed to be in a paperless society, I sure do a lot of writing.
Right.
Every day.
But you use that cell phone every day, I bet.
I do. I'm on my computer more than I am anything.
Exactly.
Like, person's got a question, about a certain product that they want in their house or their addition. And, sometimes it takes it ain't something that just pops up on the internet. Sometimes you got to do a little research on it.
Right.
And sometimes that can take quite a few hours.
Right. Well, before we take our last break here, I want to get into number 6 here, the robotic total stations. Traditionally, when you're building drawings and things like that, right, your tape measures, levels, things like that, now we're able to use technology and in particular robot technology, and these tools, I guess you would say, helps one person accomplish what it would take multiple people to accomplish.
Correct. And they even think about your roof out there.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talking to some of the FEMA people, and all they do is they can type it. They go up, push the coordinates on their computer that they have, their tablet that they have. They don't carry a computer.
Right.
And before they get back to the office, Roof Scope has already took a picture of that roof and already give them the dimensions.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Roof Scope's been out now since about 2003.
Okay.
So if there's no, a lot of people use it. I don't know if I quite trust it around a lot of trees and stuff, but if it's wide open,
yep,
it's very accurate because it'll spit out all the measurements and everything.
That's awesome.
And FEMA was telling me that NASA had developed that.
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right, we'll take our last break. We'll be right back right after this. Don't forget, get over to Randy and see him at the Rock and Roll Kitchen. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment you need to get the job done? Look no further than Blue Ridge Sawmills. We offer the full line of Hudson sawmills and sawmilling equipment, from portable sawmills to skidding winches. At Blue Ridge Sawmills, we understand that every project is different, which is why we offer a wide range of sawmilling services. We can help you from everything from finding the right mill for your farm, hobby, or even your business. We also offer a variety of sawmilling supplies such as blades and debarkers, so you can get everything you need in one place. If you're looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment and the service you need, then come to Blue Ridge Sawmills. We're here to help you get the job done. Call or visit our Cana, Virginia store at 276-755-3833 or our Asheboro, North Carolina location at 336-964-8304. That's right. All about home construction here on WATA, and Randy Blake at the Rock and Roll Kitchen over at the VFW, and making
got
some
a dining room full.
Sounds like a whole party going on over there. So get over there yourself by 11 o'clock. And those biscuits, man, I tell you, they look pretty yummy. So.
Oh, I'll tell you what. You know what the worst thing about cooking is?
You don't get to eat it.
Well, you have to try everything to make sure it's good. I wouldn't serve anything that I wouldn't eat myself.
That's great. So, all right. Well, let's get back into this list. We got three more, I guess, on the list. And number 7 here, eco-friendly building materials. Now, I think the eco-friendly materials, we talk so much about how we should, reuse materials. And I think a good contractor is going to do that when they can. And again, like sort of that no waste things. But more and more, we are starting to see these environmental friendly, I guess you would say, materials, such as cross-laminated timber, redoing, repurposing, like salvaged wood. Bamboo. Bamboo's considered an eco-friendly building material.
Well, anything that can be sustainable, that can be grown and stuff. And, the South is probably the greenest building area in the whole United States because, we've been replanting our timber farms for centuries, or not centuries, but, at least 2 centuries, where we've got rid of, where we made farmland, we got rid of trees, but in other areas they grew up.
Right. Well, just, again, trying to make that, finding that balance, right, of But there's also other products coming out all the time. I mean, some synthetic products that now use, rather than petroleum, they're using vegetable based corn, soy, things like that. Plastic.
Yeah, I think that's going to come in because they're going to start making jet fuel out of soybean.
Right. Right. Yeah, I saw something on that. It was kind of cool. But a couple of things on the concrete side of things are like hempcrete. That's using, it's basically like a concrete type thing that's using hemp. And there's ferroc, which is made from like steel dust. Again, these
there's a lot of stuff out there.
Right. Exactly. So
think about straw bales. The only downfall to straw bale construction is with the cost of straw, you can't build a house any cheaper with it.
Right.
If you had your own fields where you could, harvest them and bale them yourself, then you could build a house R33
right
installation value. And one thing that you don't see much of is hear anything in the United States is rammed earth.
Right.
Structures.
I think those are cool things, and again, those the straw houses. North Carolina, I guess, is a little more particular than some other states on building things like straw. Houses out of straw. So they, I guess, they don't like the big bad wolf coming by. So, well, let's move on. We got a few more here. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Of course, post-COVID, we all think about masks and things like that. And in the construction world, they're a lot more comfortable than they were 20 years ago. And especially if you're painting or we talked about asbestos on the show quite a bit. Some of the protective equipment is way better and more efficient and more comfortable than it used to be.
Well, one thing that over the years of my business, we've only had one employee hurt, okay? And I've only had one insurance claim.
Right.
But the point of it is we started using harnesses around 96 before they made it mandatory that you had to do it.
Right.
And I was concerned with my employees getting hurt, okay? And anytime, I grew up in the industry. We didn't have masks. We didn't have safety glasses. That was for welders and
Sure.
people like that in high dust areas and stuff. But it's important now and the thing about it is if OSHA comes on your job, you're supposed to have steel-toed boots, glasses, hearing protection, and everything else. And that is a cost that people incur. Even though it's not a big cost, it's still a cost that goes into a bid, all the little stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
It's like going to the grocery store and getting all your dry goods and going, darn, look how much that costs.
Right. Yep. So,
because a good set of safety glasses is worth its weight in gold. I mean, they generally don't even cost you more than $15. But once they get scratched, they're not good for anything because they reflect. Every time you look up in the sun, the light reflects off the scratches.
Right. So. So
and then you'll take your hearing protection off and leave it laying somewhere, or you forget to bring it the next day. So.
Exactly. So, well, cool. All right, number 9, cloud computing. Again, this one ties in with me with the cell phone thing, as we use it a lot and don't realize it. But we're able to share data and again, real time things like all those the stakeholders, I guess you'd say, by sharing and collaborating and using just cloud computing.
It is. I mean, it's a great thing. But golly, I was talking to somebody else the other day about cloud computing. All the banks want you to go paperless. And if you don't go paperless, they charge you a $3 fee. Or one bank charges $3 a month for paper. The other charges $5 a month for paper.
Right.
And then if you don't I figured with all my bank accounts, cloud computing, and stuff like that's costing me nearly $150 a month for all that stuff. your programs. Like nobody does everything without a program today. So I have to pay for that program every month, and it's on the cloud too. And that's how I do my estimate.
Yep. All right.
Hey, some people out there paying as much as $2,500 a month for estimating software.
Oh yeah, totally. So, all right, the last one on the list is digital twins as built-ins, and that is basically these projects that are moving away from more manual, time-consuming, like again, paperwork type things, right? Is now they're able to do these built-in things where these virtual counterparts can be used and manipulated and provided through like computers, basically. So it's giving you a virtual setup, I guess you would say.
Well, one of these days we'll be looking up, thinking about the Matrix. When you see it, the movie with all the X's and O's across the screen and eyes.
Exactly.
See how it looks up when you're building your house, and you'll see it all come together.
Sure. So that's cool stuff. All right. Well, that gets us through the list. So fun stuff. Randy's there till 11 o'clock at the VFW at the Rock and Roll Kitchen. Of course, you got supplies, as you mentioned. I want to remind people, too, at the Watauga schools at the high school going on until until 12 is the coat drive. So you can go, if you have a school-age kid, get coats there.
If you know a family in need, we got coats and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Send them all over.
That's awesome. And then you guys, too, have where you're helping out with the Hidden Bee Farm with their benefit.
Hidden Happiness on the 16th, correct.
Yep. Cool stuff.
And, so that's 100% donations going to caregivers.
That's awesome, man. So,
and, that's important.
Definitely.
There's no way in the world, even though a lot of these people did get paid, there's still a lot of volunteers out there that really came through and helped the community, everybody. Exactly. Not just one person, but it helped everybody.
Exactly, and we appreciate those people. So, good stuff.
And they're saying 421 is going to be out till January 1.
Wow, to get to Mountain City. So,
have to go down 321 around Pioneer Landing.
Yep. So, all right. Well, Randy, I hope you have a good week. I hope you listeners get out there and get Randy, make him go out and make more biscuits and stuff, because I want you to get over there and eat all you can. So, every listener out there, if you make it over, that'd be great.
I'm happy to see you.
That's it. Well, Randy, take it easy. Have a good time this week, and I guess we'll catch up with you next time. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, man. See you later. Thanks for listening to the podcast edition of All About Home Construction. We want to thank Skipper, Dave, and Bill for supporting the show. If you're enjoying this episode and you want to help us by creating some more awesome content, there are a few ways you can show your support. Subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. This actually helps us reach new listeners and climb the charts. And please share this episode with your friends and family. Word of mouth is always the best kind of advertising. You can support us directly through our page on Spotify. The links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening to us.